Alright, so the first thing we look at, we can see is why the ball goes to the right. We look at where your right hand is, at address, where it is at impact. That change is the face being open. So when your face is open, the ball is going to go to the right. Plain and simple. So we'll just look through and see what's causing it to happen. So just kind of reviewing some of the stuff we've talked about in the past. We talked about getting the feeling that we're on an uphill line, right? The left side's higher than the right. And just by looking at it here, it looks like there's a little too much weight on your left side. If we pictured we had a scale underneath each foot, we'd want those scales to read equal. We don't want one side to be more biased than the other. Now, the big thing that I see when it goes back is how narrow your arms get. You see that our circle's not very big going back. So up here at the top, I want, and hopefully by the end of the day, that we're going to see the shaft be on top of your head.
Okay.
In order to do that, we have to change how your arms wind up. And that's going to be, we're going to add width with that right arm. Let's take a look at it from behind here on the back. You can see when that happens, the club gets pretty far to the inside, underneath that right arm. We'll put some models up next to it. We're going to see how much different that is. And then up here at the top, the face is just a touch closed. It's hard with the sunlight out there. And the face working from closed to open. This is slightly rolling, that's why it's going slightly to the right, even though this one here was a pretty good shot. And as you would say, we hit it. Right?
Yeah.
So let's zoom in here from face on. And the other thing that tells me the face is open is look how your arms stay separated going through it. We'd like those to stay together a little bit more. You can really see a difference there. That's the other block that we're from the top. So this, the basic motion looks pretty good. It's just your club's not working very well. So if I had you just take your arms, put them across your chest and rotate, things would go pretty well. Now please keep in mind we're putting you up to so it's probably the best lady golfer ever. So let's keep, what we want to do is we want to get you a little bit closer to it. So right away you can see the difference in how much your weight is over to the left. Right, when we look at that, how balanced she looks, so that scale underneath both feet would look the same. Now when we go back, what we're going to see is, look at the width in the right arm. See how I can see some space in between the two arms? And then we go over to Corry, look at how that right arm just disappears. So up here at the top of the backswing, we're going to see because of the width in that right arm, or the length in the right arm, watch how high the shaft gets. And then like I alluded to earlier with you.
So are you supposed to keep the right arm straighter?
Not so much. What I want to see is I don't want to do anything that creates tension, but I don't want your right arm to be that close to your body. So when we look up here at the top of the backswing, you can see how far your hands are behind your body. And you can see how far hers goes. And that's going to be the difference of generating more power and help you with stopping the hip behind you.
Okay.
Now as we come down to it. No, I think you're going to find it similar to other sports that you've done. Whether you hit a tennis ball, whether you play catch, hit a softball, you want to stand over the bat like that, you're going to have some lift in that right now.
Okay.
When we look here at impact, you see pretty much similar stuff. Weights down the left side. That's why I'm saying your body looks like it's working pretty well, but the club's just not following. You know, so we can see.
On that last year and you got my hip
right on.
Trying to put it in there.
Right. And so we see, when we look at weights down the left side, everything looks good. Same thing with Annika here, the right knee's firing.
So that's okay then?
Yep, and as we bring you guys.
Turning into the
So we look here, we start to see the belt buckles rotated towards the target, just like we see here.
Yeah, I look just like her.
But where you look different is, again, look at where the glove hand is
Oh.
in the release.
That's not
So,
Yeah, because it's not-
and again, when we zoom out here, what creates distance in golf is if we measure where your club was on the backswing, and we measure where it was on the downswing, you see that pretty much matches. There's no narrowing of it. This is why you get behind. So if we go back over to Annika and we do that same thing, if you look at where was the club going back, it's all the way on the edge of the screen. And where,
She extends her arms out.
right, and then watch what happens on the way down. See how that narrows? This is what ensures a downward strike. So this space right here, the greater that space is, the more power you're going to be able to generate.
Do I get more consistency?
Well, for sure, but stop hitting the ground first, absolutely. So here we see the big difference, how much the forearms are rotating.
Right.
So right at this point, your left arm's on top of your right.
Okay.
You can see that with him and Annika, you see the right arm's on top of the left.
So it helps you in that
Right.
position.
So you're actually gonna practice hitting balls from this position. So if we measure where that club is, and we go up and we come back down, you're gonna see it goes right through that circle. And then we look at where Corry is, we're gonna measure where that is, and then we measure where the club comes down. It's in this one. And where your inconsistency lies is this space in between these two circles.
There should be no space?
Ideally, we'd like to make the most sense, right? The most efficient way is going to be up and down the same line.
Right.
And
Oh, I see.
That's what we want to do.
Oh, I see. Okay. I'm getting it half and that's.
Now, the thing is, when we look at this, we pick out all the gloom and doom stuff and say, oh, Corey, we got to do this, that.
Yeah.
But the stuff that we've talked about in the past is in there. So now we just take what we
I
have,
hear you in my
add
head.
to it, right on, right on, right on. So let's get to, now see the difference in those two positions?
Yeah.
Look at the screen. Look how wide that right arm is.
Wow.
So now when we go up to the top of the backswing, still see that right arm bends a little bit, but the shaft's already starting to get a little higher up.
So when does or should the right back up
Well, we don't really want it to bend a whole lot.
at all?
Not really, we don't want it to go beyond 90 degrees.
Oh,
Just like you're mad at Michael, you wanted to punch him, you wouldn't punch him like this.
no.
You get some width in that right arm so you can feel it, right?
Exactly.
So this looks more powerful, for sure, right? This looks like
Heck yeah.
swatting flies, this looks like you're ready to hit something. So as we bring that down, that's starting to narrow now. Now, you're still going to have to go to work.
Oh, God.
Starting to see some really good stuff. But it's not what happens here, it's where you go from here.